Welcome to UFC Unfiltered with Matt and myself. Fun show today. Demetrious Johnson calls in. Robert Whittaker calls in. And I think he's fighting in New Zealand, not realizing he was born there. I'm an ass.
Yeah.
He may finish it here. He's out. It is all over. Knockout. He got rocked.
UFC and digital media present UFC Unfiltered with Jim Norton and Matt Serra, powered by digital media. Find your voice. And now, your hosts, Jim Norton and Matt Serra.
What a delightfully fun day we're going to have here on UFC Unfiltered. We have Demetrious Johnson, Mighty Mouse is calling in. Robert Whittaker is calling in. And first, before I forget, I've been getting yelled at because I don't promote any gigs.
Wait, are you about to do plugs?
Yes,
Why don't you get an extra plug and put it up your asshole?
I know, I've been breaking wind. I've broken wind a few times.
Stinks in here.
It just snuck out. It was cute.
It stinks.
It was cute. You saw Chris the producer. I let one go, and Chris was like, "Aw."
Yeah, Chris the producer heard what your ass was
adorable,
doing.
yeah.
It sounded like your ass was giving me a raspberries.
The end of this month, I'm going to be in April 20th, 29th. You want to see me in Baltimore?
Oh, you're going to Baltimore.
For Magoobies, and then August 5th, the Borgata Hotel and Casino. I'll be doing 2 shows on that Saturday that will sell out. And I'm going to Europe. I get a lot of people asking me to come to Europe. I'm coming to May 26th through the 31st. I will be in Antwerp, Belgium, Copenhagen, Denmark, Stockholm, Sweden, Amsterdam, and then also Oslo, Norway. So come check me out if you're a fan of Unfiltered. And thank you guys. They're starting to do some more reviews. It helps us in the rankings. Yeah, I started doing a Chip Chipperson podcast, which is a character I do, which people love or hate, more likely hate. And it's number 1 in comedy. So thank you to those of you. I'm not bragging. It's literally just the fact that it's a new podcast. But people like it.
It's okay to brag about
because
it,
people
though.
are putting reviews. They're reviewing it a lot.
I'm going to review
Fucking
it later.
piece of garbage. That's Chip.
Chip?
Yeah.
I'm going to...
You want to come on the podcast?
Hi, Chip. Who am I going to talk to? I'm going to talk to Chip?
Yep.
I would love to.
Yeah. Chip is awful. You're not enjoying it.
I can't wait. And what is it called? The Chip Chipperson?
Chip Chipperson podcast. It's embarrassing. We have some reviews by fans. That's why
Yeah,
I
we
kinda
do,
mentioned
actually,
it.
yeah.
It helps us, guys, when you write them. And people have reviewed the Chip one heavily, so I'm saying we appreciate if you review this one as well.
Right. This is probably one of the best ones we've ever gotten, I think.
What's it say?
Let's hear it.
Go on now.
The title of it is UFC Unfiltered with Chris and 2 randoms, which,
I don't disagree.
okay.
That is the show.
Is that really the title?
It sure
That
is.
is the title, yeah.
Can we just, before he reads this, can we pick out like some of the fan mail? Because I think he picks out only the ones that guys like suck up to him.
Well, yes.
Like, oh, this guy got at me at Twitter, and I'm your Chris the producer.
I understand.
And this one, you see how he started that one off?
Yeah, he did it on purpose.
Why am I
He did it obviously on purpose, though.
All right, go ahead, Chris the
Chris
producer.
likes a little credit once in a while. He
yeah, that's
deserves
right.
it. He feels
That's
like he's the
right.
forgotten man. He's not
Yeah.
wrong.
No,
He's the Jam Master J of our fucking Run DMC.
You're the
Right?
You're the Spinderella to our Salt and Pepper. That's
You're
what
the wind beneath our wings.
Yes. All right.
It's one of
Except
my...
the song is different. We would still be terrific without you.
Is that from Wilson Phillips?
No, it's Bette Midler.
Oh.
You are the wind beneath my wings. By the way, before you read these, I'm watching Feud, and I know I started watching real Betty. I'm turning into an old biddy. I was watching Betty Davis interviews. Jesus, what's wrong with me? I'm just thinking this is what I'm going to mention to
What's
Demetrious
Feud?
Johnson.
What's Feud?
It's about the Joan Crawford, Betty Davis feud that they had for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of ties in UFC. It's like fighting, except they weren't using their fists. They were using backhanded methods and behind-the-scenes stuff.
Nice.
Joan Crawford got 2 Oscar nominees to say that she could accept their award. Same year Betty Davis was nominated for a film they did together. Betty Davis didn't win. Joan Crawford went up and accepted for someone else. It was humiliating for Betty Davis. It's a whole fucking thing, guys.
Well, and this
Please, Robert Whittaker's going to understand.
Wouldn't it be funny if he did?
Did I say Richard Whittaker before Robert Whittaker?
No, Robert
I did. I
Whittaker,
thought so.
That was like the drama back in the day before they had like the Real Housewives. And shit.
Absolutely, that was it. And then the local rags would come, kind of like this program. We try to get the dirt. We
Yeah.
are like the local rags of that time. We're going to ask Demetrious Johnson, whose side were you on? Were you a Betty Davis guy? Are you a Joan Crawford guy? And I'm going to ask Robert Whittaker the same question. You a Betty Davis guy or a Joan Crawford guy? You can't say I don't know.
I think it's going to be a little bit of a.
Betty Davis, Joan Crawford, Unfiltered. Put them in the house.
I think you throw in Milton Berle, and it's another name they're not going to know. I think this is they're young kids.
Young guys.
Yeah, they're young
Betty
guys.
Davis, everyone knows the name Betty Davis.
Betty-
Joan Crawford, Mommy Dearest.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah
was she
no
a twat?
wire hangers.
But isn't
Right?
it amazing?
She
Everyone
beat the
knows
kid
that.
with the wire.
Absolutely, and she wasn't wrong.
Well,
Who the fuck wants stretched out shirts?
Yeah, she can't do that.
Absolutely
I don't,
not.
I don't deserve.
How do they teach you in jiu-jitsu? You do something wrong, you get your arm bent.
Yeah, you know wire hangers. But were you about to read a compliment?
Read
or
the
something?
compliment.
Yeah, it's one of my new top podcasts. As someone who listens to many hours a week, I highly suggest you add this to the top of your list. The UFC news and comedy are both top notch. The show also has the best producer out of any podcast I listen to.
Which means he listens to one podcast. Also has the worst producer.
Again. Okay. All right. I'll take that. That was nice.
Okay, this Rob says the only podcast I listen to. I normally don't do podcasts, but you guys are the funniest, best podcast duo out there. Anyone who doesn't agree can fight me. Every episode, Jim makes me laugh out loud uncontrollably in public, and I learned something new about the fight game from Matt. Chris, the producer, knows some stuff too. Keep up the good work, fellas. Hope to get a shout out.
Well, Chris, the
Rob.
producer. Here's Chris, the producer's thing. He knows the names.
Yeah.
Like
how to pronounce them.
Wilson Hayes.
Yeah.
That we're and let me see the other name that I had trouble with, but I did figure it out. And by figure it out, I mean I asked Chris how to say it, and he told me, and then I wrote it down.
I know who you're
phonetically.
talking about.
Hold on now.
I know who you're talking about.
Because people out there think that I'm this fight genius, and I'm like, no, I'm just I try to maintain humility.
But you know it better, I think, than you like to admit.
Yeah.
What,
I
are
think
you
so.
shuffling through things?
No, here's what I did.
What is that?
I threw something out.
It's like you made it into like a
The
paper
Cormier
airplane
stuff. We
or
thought we might have
something.
had Cormier. Hold on now. I just
While
like
you're
talking
looking
like
for that, you know I'm getting good. Talk about good reviews. People are liking the new episode of Dana White looking for a fight.
Of
That
course
just
they
came
are. The
out
Sturgis
down
episode.
April. It just came out a couple of days ago. The Sturgis episode, and let me just tell you, it's a good time. So if anybody hasn't seen it, Dana White looking for a fight on YouTube. Check out the latest episode.
What's
I
your
had a
favorite
blast.
part of the weekend?
Why are you holding my hand?
I'm trying to talk to you. You're shy.
It's one thing if you
All
do
of
it for a
sudden he's
second,
shy.
but he's just holding it. And
I was
looking at me.
I wasn't holding it. I just rested my hand on top of yours.
Awkward.
Sometimes I do that.
Maybe I'm invading your space.
No, you're not at all. No, I did it over there.
Shit.
Couple of men.
Couple of men. What were you saying now?
You were saying that you had a good time in Sturgis. And
Oh,
Matt
it was
had,
such
by the
a
way,
good
Matt had been
time.
talking about this episode for a while. He's like, I can't wait till this comes out. This is
Yeah.
a fun one.
So
Matt is good at keeping a secret, though. He didn't blow it, and he said it was a fun episode.
You know, jumping in the sidecar, Dean Thomas riding bitch. Fun stuff.
What's riding bitch on the
That
back?
is when you are on the back. Me, it's like I got a chauffeur.
Yeah.
You know
Who
what I
drove
mean?
your car?
My buddy, oh shit.
Wasn't Damon.
No, I know his name too. What was his name? Oh man. Oh, it's killing me. It's killing me. It's killing me.
It's okay.
All right.
You
It's
figure
killing
it
me.
out.
No, I know the guy's name though. Now he's gonna listen and be like, you suck.
No, you're just blanking.
Scroony. It was
Squiggy.
Scroony. No, Scroony. My man Scroony. What a good guy.
Is he a biker?
Yeah, he looks like he's one of the ZZ Top guys.
Oh, okay.
But he was a good dude, man.
Is Scroony a tough guy?
I'm sure he can handle himself.
Right.
You know,
I'm not tangling, I'm just
I had his
asking.
back if there was another guy in his sidecar. Oh fuck, what are you doing, dude?
I'm leaning in so I can hear you.
Dude, all I know is it's really bad in here today.
Oh, come on.
And
Stop trying to make me feel better.
No, listen. You could.
Back off.
You get it. Don't. It's like getting worse. I think.
Yeah, it is. I have to see someone after this, too, so I can't even go home and go to the restroom.
Where you go? Are you one of those guys that can't take a shit anyway?
I can't shit unless I'm nude in my own house.
Really?
I'm the worst.
I'll shit right here.
That's pointing at my chin. I didn't
Point
appreciate
at
that at all.
Chris Producer's face. I will
that's just
shit
mean-spirited.
right here. Nah, listen. When you gotta go, you gotta go.
I can't do it.
You know.
So you guys went to Sturgis. You get to ride motorcycles, which is pretty
We had
fun.
there's
Did you get a lot of fans there? A lot of the bikers? MMA
we ran
fans?
into some people. Yeah. And when I was away, by the way, I ran into a lot of people that are fans of this show right here when I was in Buffalo.
Oh, you
People
did?
think, where were you? New York? You're from New York. Yeah, but people don't realize we drove there from here, it's like 7 hours. So
They were asking where you were. What do you mean?
no, people if I tell them like, I met people in Buffalo that it's like they're like, that's New York. You're from New York.
They don't get it,
They don't
though, yeah.
realize that it's 7 hours from here by car. But
you drove?
No, hell no.
I don't drive.
Oh, it was a fucking debacle though.
Why?
To getting over there. Well, an hour on the runway. It's an hour to take there. We spent more time on the runway. And then when I got there, I'm the only guy that didn't get my bag. And this is what pisses me off.
Wait a minute. How long did you go for?
I went
You
from
checked the bag for one day?
No, I was there from Thursday to Sunday.
Okay.
I didn't go. You thought I was supposed to go on Saturday.
I
but no.
still don't believe in checking the bag. But
Well, yeah, no, I need.
Ever.
I bring extra stuff, but I have to. I just like to bring stuff. But anyway, so man, They lost my fucking bag. It took me a while to get back to the hotel. So it came the next day. They should have gave me like a per diem or this
Without
and
a
that.
doubt.
I didn't get anything.
What
I forgot
airline?
to ask because I just wanted to get the hell out of there. And I'm
What
like,
airline?
it was Delta.
Oh, you should see what happened to me on a United flight.
They pissed me off. I know. I heard you got a
I
little.
got dragged off.
Did you really?
Screaming, my belly was
Oh no, I heard
showing.
something about that. Who was that?
Some Asian gentleman.
What was he still in trouble?
No, he might have been being an asshole. It was a long story, but they wanted him off the plane so they could put their employees on. And United, because he's Chinese, China is upset, the country, and their version of Twitter, the video has 300 million retweets.
Wow. Of what?
This guy being dragged off the plane.
But what are they mad about? That he's Chinese?
They think it was way too rough the way they dragged him off. Even though the guy was a dick, like, get off the plane. As much as I don't like those guys, when people come in off the plane, this was not flight attendants. These were guys that worked at the airport, like airport cops. When they show up, when someone has got an ID hanging off their neck or a fucking badge on their belt, get up and get the fuck off the plane, even if you're right. You can't sit there and go, I'm not getting off the... Yes, you are.
Yeah, because it's going to happen.
What do you think they're going to do? Give up? All right, he doesn't want to go.
Right.
Yeah.
They pulled him off. Do you have the noise? Do you have it?
Yeah, I can find it.
You got to
Yeah.
hear the scream this guy lets out. It's the fucking greatest thing ever.
well, he's just the
It's amazing. But I don't like this guy either.
He's acting tortured. Was he being an asshole?
They don't show it on the video.
What is the word? What's the word from the people?
The word is he probably just didn't want to get off the plane because he had a paid ticket. And look, I get his point, and he was right. But I'm sure he was probably being a dick too.
Yeah.
But fuck the airline, they stink. So I'm sorry you lost your bags. Delta lost your bags?
Well, yeah.
I don't go for that.
I mean, not only that, but
They should have given you per diem. You're right.
I think so. You know, and know what's even worse? I brought it to the outside curbside check-in.
Oh,
where you
never,
tip the
Matt.
guy. I tipped the dude where I gave the guy. All right, I was gonna say $15. I gave him $10, but still, I can't lie. I'm not a good liar. I was like, you know, and I gave the guy $15. I gave him $10, but still, what does he do? I just hand him that. He checks it in. I just do that because
I've always had problems with those sky caps. Honestly, outside, I've checked bags. Never
What is
again.
Is this it? Is there a video? Oh my god!
It's the greatest.
What is that?
I hear that sound in my sleep
They're
now.
just yanking him. Nice.
They see this.
Yeah, they turn it around for the
Turn
boss.
that thing around.
They you know what they should have done? They should have lifted the little seat divider, but they didn't. You got to rewind, sweetie.
Oh, put that shirt down. He's losing friends right
I know his fucking belly is showing. Ow!
Oh wait, want to do it again? For the
Yeah, you got to
beginning?
see the
Do it
scream.
again
Watch
for the
how
beginning.
rough they yank him out. It's hilarious. Watch.
I mean, that's gonna scar young children though. If they're watching this.
Lesson here: when the men with the badges say "get up," fucking get up, dummy.
What are you gonna do? They gotta get him out of there.
That's what I'm saying. Even though I don't think
looks
I
sad.
think they're
He
terrible.
looks sad.
Well, he's hamming it up a little bit.
Well, he's 70 also.
Is he
Is he
70?
70? Oh, no,
69, I
yeah, he
think,
looks
yeah.
good for 70.
Oh, I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah, he's up there. So.
You see the other video when he comes back in, he's bleeding, and he's like, "You'll kill me, just kill me."
Wait, he came back in?
I don't know what happened. He got back in. through the
How did he
curtain.
get back in?
I don't know.
He comes back in through this hurt?
He's a mess.
I want to see this.
Oh, just kill me.
Wait, don't turn it around yet. Let me see how this ends. So far they dragged this
Kill me. Just kill me.
What?
Kill me. Just kill me.
kill me?
Kill me. Just kill me.
Just kill me.
He's handling it well.
This is kind of...
And now there's stories about him in the paper. He's a doctor, and allegedly he traded pills for sex with men when he was married to. This guy rules. My favorite
what-
guy
what-
ever.
Wait, so what did this guy do?
I don't know. He's just fresh. He's a very fresh guy. But it's a whole big scandal. The airlines, the inability they have to treat people decently. And again, I know it's a hard industry and you're doing millions of people a day, but they should just do the right thing. And if they lose your luggage, there was a per diem, by the way, Matt. You could have gotten one.
I should have.
You should have. For
there was this
toothpaste, toothbrush, there's
This
a minimum.
old lady was
Maximum.
behind the thing. Oh, the computer went down.
I would have said, I don't
and I'm
care.
just like, and then she's like, oh, I got it working. And I'm like, oh, I was like that guy. I'm like, just kill me. Just kill me. I
Just
want
kill
the
me.
fucking,
It's just
that was
kill
me. The airlines does that to you. I think I sounded the same exact way. Just kill me. Just kill me, old lady. Anyway.
By the way, new fight announced July 8th. Let's talk about that. TJ, Cody Garbrandt. We knew that was happening. I don't think we knew when. So that's the big
Now we do.
summer fight, and now we're being told that it might be the co-main event. And they're still looking for a main event, which I say is going to be Cormier Jones, but Chris speculates could be Michael Bisping, GSP, and he's could be right. Either one of those is a huge fight.
Well, they did not. I know Bisping wanted to speed that thing up. with I think George was talking about doing that something in the fall, and he's like, yo, you got to fight. I'm not waiting around for you. Right? Am I making this shit up or am I hearing
but
this?
GSP has to go through the whole USADA testing. That's the thing. Like if GSP could get in there next week, he would probably. But
Okay, maybe. So maybe this is gonna be Jones Cormier. I don't know.
Because Dana was saying maybe not because Jones is still suspended up until I think the 6th or the 9th. It depends when
so
it
they
is.
won't know if he's getting. Yeah, understandable.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't even need. They just need who else fights in that card. It ain't gonna be Connor.
What else?
I think that's the 213. That I think Lawler, Cerrone, which I'm not 100% sure that's
not a main event for
official,
July
but that'll be on that card.
That's not a July 8th main event though. What's the main event of that fight? We have a Demetrious Johnson calling in today. Is fighting Wilson Hayes on this Saturday, right?
Yep, on Fox.
On Fox. So that's gonna be this Saturday. We have Miocic. Junior Dos Santos. I don't have the date. What is that?
That's May 13th.
May 13th.
In Dallas.
What are the big fights do we have? Okay, we have TJ announced against Cody Garbrandt. That's the co-main, possibly. But that could also be the main. What's another good fight?
Do we have anything else announced?
I don't know. Yeah, there's so many
going
announced.
through the weight classes.
Aldo Holloway, June 3rd.
Yeah, but that's in Brazil.
Right.
So I'm saying what could possibly be that fight?
I don't know.
Cain Velasquez? No, he's not going to fight for the belt. Miocic is fighting too soon.
Well,
I don't know.
We'll see.
I guess we'll see as it comes out. Look at this. Now, why would Anthony Johnson, it says he intends to file an official complaint with the New York State Athletic Commission over the actions of UFC light heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier.
Is there a financial
at the weigh-ins?
Is there a financial advantage to it?
Percentage? I know. Is there anything? Well, why else would he do that?
If Cormier had missed weight officially, he made weight, it was fine. But he would have owed Johnson 20% of his purse, and the title still would have been on the line if Cormier missed weight. If Johnson missed weight, then the title wouldn't be on the line. But I think it was a 20% difference in pay.
Okay, so that's why he's filing a complaint.
He's looking for some more cash.
He's done now. He's trying to get fucking. What do you think Cormier made for that? $1 million?
I don't know. Yeah. But I do know, according to my buddy, Chris Weidman's manager, they will be filing an appeal.
They should.
Yes.
For that Dan Maragliata against Gegard Mousasi in Buffalo, and it was a very unusual. That's the weirdest thing I've seen in a long time.
At the end of the day, I don't care. And I know Michael Bisping saying stuff about, he was acting and laying it on thick and this and that. How about this? If the ref never should have, if it's he flip flopped on his decision. He flip-flopped. He said, no, after you're not supposed to watch any instant replay. You can't change your mind after you already called it a foul. You got to stand by that. And it comes down to like a little, really a half a second. They're looking at, no, the hands are coming up and they're coming down. He called it an illegal strike. And then he felt the pressure. He might have saw something. Big John, I know he's talking to Big John. They might have said something to him. Next thing you know, he's flipping.
Well, let me ask you about Bisping's comments. Bisping was saying that he did it wrong. He was laying back. Was Bisping saying that in relation to the fact that it was the doctor who stopped the fight? Like was he saying that he was sending the wrong message to the doctor? Like that's what I'm picking up from Bisping is that he did it to himself because he was laying back. So the doctor may have thought Chris was more hurt than he was. And then because Chris looked fucked up when he stood up. Yeah. So the doctor seeing him laid back, and the doctor is the one who actually stopped it, may have said, this guy was laying on his back, not moving. Look at him. He's fucked up. Maybe that's what Bisping means. Just playing devil's advocate.
Well then, all right. Well then, hold on. If they do stop it because he's fucked up, then they're stopping it. Then they're stopping it off of the original call, which is an illegal knee.
Yes.
If not,
agree.
Just play it. Let it play out.
I agree.
It's not like Chris got laid out. He was laying. Yeah, sure. He laid on his back, and he was taking the guy. He was encouraged by the referee, and I heard that. I heard that with my own ears. I was right there. It happened right near my.
Take the time, yeah.
Take the time. You got 5 minutes. It was an illegal strike. And now Ray Longo did a very good. He talked about this very well, and he was just even saying about the mindset. You got this guy's mind right out of the fight. Now you got his mind, feeling like he was wronged, and he got hit with an illegal strike. He's saying it's an illegal strike afterwards to Joe Rogan because that's what he's been told by the referee. The referee's got the best eyes right there. He's right on top of the action. He's saying it was an illegal strike. And all of a sudden he flips, and now it cost Chris the fight. So, hey, man, if it was a legal strike, he shouldn't have had up to 5 minutes. They would have stopped it right there, which they wouldn't. You will never know how that would have played out.
That's correct.
We'll never know.
You're right. Matt's right. It was just a mistake the whole way through. I'm saying in relation to what Bisping's saying, he may have just been saying that the doctor stopped it for that reason, even though technically you're right, it was off the ref's fuck up. It was a
The
bad
ref
move.
fucked up, man, and he's not being held accountable.
But now that the New York State Athletic Commission is saying, yeah, replay's okay, you could have, right?
no,
Chris?
They did. I can get the actual statement, but I was reading something where they were like, "Yeah, no, actually, it's okay to look at video."
But I thought it was. There's no.
They should
instant
use it if
replay.
they're not. Replay is never a bad thing.
Right.
They said if it
but
in this case,
But
though,
listen,
it is.
but he called it an illegal strike from the get go. He called
Yes.
illegal strike. He stopped the action right there. He has to stand by that decision, even if it was or it wasn't. He has to stand by that because it fucks everything up. He stopped the action. Oh, it's legal? Then why'd you even intervene? Why'd you jump in? We don't know if Chris would have weathered that. He would have fought through that. You were just saying before we got on air about you watched that fight that we talked about the other day with
which was Pat Barry against Czech Congo.
Now look at that. Now if they would have broke that up at any time, nobody's complaining.
That was a great,
You know what I mean?
great job of refereeing. I don't, and Rose Namajunas, whose name I will never fuck up again. My good pal Rose.
Yeah.
Because she's in love with Pat Barry, so it's understandable. She was saying that the touch in the back. But I saw that. I don't think Dan did anything wrong because he jumped and kind of rethought it. And Pat Barry was punching and did not stop.
I do agree that it's wrong though if he touched him because that would get the guy out. Oh,
But I mean, Pat didn't stop punching though. It didn't affect the fight. I mean, he might have made a mistake, but it didn't affect Pat Barry because he was just punching and punching and punch. It wasn't like he stood up and then Czech punched him. Right. He was punching the shit out of him. Czech got up and then Pat walked in. That did not affect the fight. I'm not saying it was a mistake, but it didn't fuck the fight up.
Well,
I hate my fat, by the way.
He fucked this fight up.
Yeah, he did.
Here, so this is from the New York State Athletic Commission, and then we're going to call Robert Whittaker, by the way. But
I want you to call Robert Whittaker
Yeah.
after you read this. It's called taking charge.
Yeah.
Crack the whip.
Mr. Weidman was determined to be unable to continue the match due to legal blows received, resulting in a TKO. In New York State, it has been held that the commission may review video evidence in order to meet its obligation to render correct determinations and act in the best interest of the sport. After the referee initially ruled the strikes from Mr. Mousasi illegal, he consulted with the alternate referee, who was Big John, I think, during the physician assessment of Mr. Weidman and determined that the knee strikes by Mousasi were not illegal. During the examination of Mr. Weidman by commission medical staff, it was determined he was medically unfit to continue, and they rolled it a TK.
And that's where I fault the doctors.
Yeah.
Because I think that the ref obviously made a mistake. In that moment, it's a really tough call because you're literally, it's a balls and strike. It's an inch. And you're talking about knees to the head. It's not a petty. It's not like they make mistakes on low blows once in a while. And
that mistake.
It's a fraction of a second.
That mistake cost Chris the fight.
No, it did
more than anything.
But I think the fact that the doctors were afraid of looking bad and they didn't know what to do, and the commission was fucking confused.
That's what happens when you get an indecisive ref.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, Big John McCarthy, he made calls sometimes where they might have been wrong, but he stuck by him because he made that call. It's not like it's like ending a fight and all of a sudden realizing the guy's okay. Be like, you know what? Actually, you know what? No, I looked at the tape too. You're right. You're okay. Keep going. No, fuck that. You stop the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't do that. It's not fair to the fighter. It really isn't. So, whatever.
Yeah, I hate to see it end that way. It was very unfair. But ultimately, the doctors never should have disqualified him to fight. He was ready to fight.
Did you ever hear that song? I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
Women I've been fucking have sang that.
Yes, they do sing that, right? They do sing that, don't they? Don't they? I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm just living through you. Been married 10 years.
You have a good life. You're happy.
I am very happily married.
Who are we calling?
Whack off like a fiend? Why, Jimmy?
Indo. How come we don't do any reads anymore? The advertisers hate us?
Do they not like us?
Don't yell at me.
I know. You calm down, Chris.
Embarrass me.
Shit, Chris.
Rob Whittaker might pick up the phone and think I'm a bitch.
I think he's a fucking cuck.
Yeah.
Cuck. One of my guys loved the joke the other day, food cuck, with my old jury.
Who said that?
Joey Beans.
Hello. Is this Robert Whittaker?
Yes, it is.
Hi, buddy. You're talking to Jim Norton and Matt Serra here on UFC Unfiltered. How are you?
What's up, Robert?
How are you guys?
Excellent. So you're fighting in have you been to New Zealand before? Or this your first time?
Yeah, I've been to New Zealand before. I fought there as well. I fought on the first Auckland card that was there.
It's supposed to be a beautiful country. Do you sightsee when you go away? Do you do anything, or do you simply just stay in the hotel?
I stay in the hotel. I'm a hermit. The room service laugh at me because I have to come in and they clean days worth of crap.
Do you know, by the way, Chris is pointing out that you're from New Zealand, so I'm a true asshole. My apologies. I'm looking at the as we talk. We look at the prep sheet, and I am a true asshole thinking you're fighting in New Zealand, and no one is correcting me. I'm just seeing Auckland, New Zealand, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm thinking you're on the Mark Hunt card, but that's incorrect.
I want with it as well, so it's all good.
Okay, but thank you very much for tolerating the stupidity of my question.
I've been fought in either Australia. I'm reading it right now. That's great. We got these notes. Robert, let me ask you, Jacare's ground game, obviously, you know what he's looking to do. Tim Boach knew what he was looking to do, and he took him down, and he nearly took his arm off. You're a way different. Styles make fights, and you're a way faster fighter than Tim Boach, and you present different problems, even like getting it to the floor. What are we working on with the floor? I mean, are you working bad scenarios? Are you working just a lot of defense?
Yeah, it's funny. It's like once we had an opponent, the prep didn't change. I'm always trying to further my game on the ground, and always trying to further my game wrestling, and I'm always making these gains regardless of the opponent. But definitely we manipulated the training to work worst case scenarios. I don't want to go in there and have a jiu-jitsu match with him. That'd be putting the chips in his favor, if you would.
Well, you're a purple belt, correct?
I want to go out there and I want to implement my game.
Are you a purple belt?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah, so you're try to avoid getting into a jiu-jitsu match with him.
No, obviously you don't want to go in there and jump to guard. I'm just saying, this guy. I mean, he's gotten better with the strikes, and he's using it to close that distance. It's like a Damian Maia, where he's so good in that one area, but it's not like you have to beat him down there. It's even about just getting back up to your feet. If he gets you down, I'm sure you're working out of your wrestling too. But have you ever fought somebody with such a dangerous ground game?
That's a funny question, because is there anyone who has such a dangerous ground game to fight?
That's a good point, man. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of somebody else.
Well, I mean, in that weight class,
Damian Maia,
it's up there, man, because, Damian Maia's the only guy I could think of where, there's Gunnar Nelson's up there. I mean, you get these guys that are just like elite in this one area. And, hey, man, it makes it very interesting. It really does. But, and this is going to be, how many rounds is this?
This is 3 round. It's on the main card. Yeah, this is the fight. The co-main is Rose fighting Michelle Watterson, and this is the second fight on the main card. That's what I'm saying. This is the second fight on the card. And there's Jacare. This is his last fight on his contract. So does that mean anything to you? And I ask that because he's going to be fighting very, very hard to go out and make himself in a much better free agent position. And also, if he leaves the UFC, it puts you in a much better place in that division.
I've heard that been brought up twice now, and it has. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel. It doesn't change the fact that I have to go out there and have to fight him. I'm sure even if it wasn't his last fight on his contract, he'd still be coming out to try and put it on me. But so it doesn't really have a significant impact. I'm just focusing on trying to get in there and put him away.
Yeah, I was only saying in the picture of the division itself, because he's number 3, you're number 6, and if you were to win this fight and he is to leave the UFC, that really does help you a lot. As far as the rankings are concerned, and where you might be in a title shot.
Yeah, definitely. But the division's all over the place to begin with. Like the rankings is all over the place, and I try not to look too much into it because anything can happen, and the UFC is doing anything they want at the moment as well. So it just is what it is.
And regardless whether his last fight on the contract or not, just the fact that it's Jacare, if you take this guy out and you make a statement with it, that's a feather in your cap. Because right now he's been on fire lately, and you're having obviously a nice run yourself, winning your last 5 out of 6. You take him out, you're definitely making a case for yourself, man, because he is the guy that people are talking about that should be getting a shot from, they're making an argument about that. So this is a big opportunity, Robert, man. I'm excited for you.
Matt, to correct you, Robert's won 6 straight.
My fucking bad. I'm sorry, Robert. Robert's like, why are you throwing a loss in there, you cock?
It's all good.
I knew it was a bunch.
The last time we spoke to you, Robert, was for the Derek Brunson fight, I believe. And you won with a TKO in the first round. And then you saw Brunson fight Silva. I thought Derek, and I love Anderson, but I thought Derek Brunson won that fight. And I thought that he kind of got screwed in the decision. And I've seen a lot of questionable decisions, I guess, in the last year or so. Does that change the way you approach fighting? I mean, because you really know that a very bad decision could be made.
Yeah, you're right on that, but yeah, it's one of those things that's like, what can you really do to stop that? I go out in every fight and try to get the finish and try to put my opponent away, but it is what it is, and it's one of those things like if once you leave it to the judges, it's in the hands of them.
And how do you feel about obviously we're gonna have a Bisping GSP championship fight? Does that do you feel like GSP is jumping the line, or do you feel like it's understandable that he is getting the title shot immediately? I'm the one that's jumping up in weight.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm a huge GSP fan, and I'm happy for his return. But I'm not as happy that he's returned in my division.
Right.
He's definitely I think for someone who finished up in welterweight, for him to jump the cube in the middleweight is a bit raw. But I'm not the champ. I'm not the UFC. They make the rules. They put the fight together, and yeah. So I just I'm fighting Jacare, so that's my role.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering how the fighters see it. Now, when you say you're not happy he's in your division, does that mean because you might have to possibly face him, or just the fact that he jumped up and got a title shot?
Both parts of that question. The first one is, yeah. I don't really want to face him because I admired him through his welterweight years, and he's a legend of the sport. He's a really good fighter, but not so happy that I may have to verse him. And the second part is, yeah, he did jump the queue. He wasn't fighting at middleweight when he finished, and there are a lot of good aspects, good fighters in the middleweight top 10, and they're a hard run themselves.
Well, and it does happen once in a while. And again, I'm just back to Brunson Silva because it's the most recent example of this I can think of, where one guy is so admiring of the other guy. I thought he showed way too much respect for Silva in the ring, and he was much more hesitant than, again, it's easy to say someone who's not standing across from Anderson Silva, but he's an extremely strong guy, an extremely aggressive guy. And it was like watching Wonder Boy against Tyron Woodley. Both guys were a little bit more cautious than I would have recommended had they asked me. Because sometimes when you're overly respectful or overly cautious, it can keep you from getting knocked out, but it can also prevent anything from happening in your favor.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely have respect for the Jacare's skill set. It'd be a fool not to. But I don't think it'll impede me in any way because, I have deep confidence in my own.
So how do you prevent being taken down?
Throw punches at him and punches with bunches.
It's true, and he's all over the place, man. He's quick. He's quick for a middleweight, Robert. Ain't that right, Robert? Because you felt that you fought at welterweight at one point. Yeah,
I started my UFC career in welterweight, but then moved up to middleweight, and I like to think I have speed on my side. I move a lot as well. It's hard for someone to pin me down to the cage and get that open match shot off because of my movement.
He's all over the place.
What made you move up? Did you get sick and tired of the weight cut?
Yeah, the weight cut was unbearable. It was just too much. I was doing like 20 pounds fight week. It's just too much.
Yeah, I mean, look, it seems to have worked well for Hendricks and Gastelum. Gastelum just wouldn't fucking smoke pot right after the fight. Be in great shape.
Oh man, I'm bummed out that fight.
I'm extremely bummed out about that fight. Yeah. It's like, but it is kind of like you can't do it right after the fight, dude.
Is that what he did?
He must have. It was in competition, right?
In competition is 12 hours before, 12 hours after. So at some point.
12 hours after.
Yeah.
Give the guy a break.
What are you doing? All right, Robert. Well, listen, good luck on Saturday in Kansas City. You are on the, obviously the main event is Mighty Mouse against Wilson Hayes. And, Rose Namajunas against Michelle Waterson, and you guys are the second fight up. You against Jacare.
I'll see you over there, Robert. I'm going to be out there with my buddy Aljo Sterling, so I'll say hello.
And I'm sorry for my stupid question in the beginning where I thought you were on the Derek Lewis Mark Hunt card. I saw New Zealand, and I asked you if you've ever been there. And then it goes, oh, he was born there. So that's a big yes.
No, it's all good. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, buddy. Have a great fight.
All right, Robert.
All right.
Thanks, pal.
Thank you, guys.
Take care. He's always a nice
He might be
dude.
over in New Zealand now, or no? Because I can hear that. Or is he?
Nah, he should be
with
here
that
by
hesitation
now,
on the
man.
phone.
If he's fighting this weekend, he should be in town.
How stupid am I?
No,
I'm literally. You know, here's how people look like. Don't you know anything? You go over the prep sheet and you do some research, and then I'm just like looking and I see Auckland, New Zealand, and I'm literally just thinking of the market.
And-
Have you ever fought? Have you ever been to
just
New Zealand before?
And just
Yes. Yes, when I was spanked and air first hit my lungs.
Just to make it.
I'm a true boob.
And also, see how it says 5 out of the 6 wins have been fought in either Australia or New Zealand.
Yeah, we
I
make
saw,
mistakes.
Well, I saw the 5 out of 6, and I thought he won 5 out
We
of
just
6.
make
But
mistakes.
all right, let's blame it on this guy. Look.
I'm going to ask Mighty Mouse. Not that one. Mine was totally my fault. I'm going to ask Mighty Mouse if he's ever been to New Zealand.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask also. I kind of wonder, like, I'm going to ask Mighty Mouse too if he cooks.
Really?
I don't cook.
Do you have that boo thing lined up? If I wanted to just point to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't cook. Look, Matt.
You don't cook? Wait, what do you mean? Hold
Matt
on.
and I were talking.
Yeah, let's talk about it now.
So not all ingredients are created equal. Matt knows it and I know it. Fresh, high-quality ingredients make a real difference, so it's important to know where your food comes from.
Blue Apron?
Well, you talk about your personal experience with Blue Apron. I'm just reading the instructions out loud. Matt, you've done Blue Apron.
Oh, I
You
love
said it was
Blue
very
Apron.
easy and it
Love
was
it.
a good family time. Everything's measured out for you. The food is delicious. It's affordable. For less than $10 a person per meal, Blue Apron delivers seasonal recipes along with pre-proportioned ingredients to make delicious home-cooked meals. That's why it's great, because it's pre-portioned. That's everything is kind of like measured out for you.
Pre-portioned.
Yes.
Pre-portioned. It's fun-
Pre-portioned.
Say it again. It's fun to say.
Pre-portioned.
Okay.
I said pre-proportioned because I'm stupid.
No, you said pre-portioned.
Choose from a variety of new recipes every week, or let Blue Apron's culinary team surprise you. Recipes are not repeated within a year. That to me is the most amazing thing. Besides the fact it's fresh and everything is measured out
Yeah.
for you, they do not repeat a recipe in a year.
No.
That's incredible. They each come with a step-by-step, easy-to-follow recipe card, pre-portioned ingredients, and can be prepared in 40 minutes or less. Look, check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/UFC Unfiltered. You're going to love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron. So don't wait. You spend more time with your family. There's no stress because it's all measured out for you. It comes, it's there, it's ready. You don't have to panic. And that's the worst part of cooking. How much sugar? I don't know how much. Is it a cup or a liter? I don't know. I want it pre-portioned.
Yeah.
Blueapron.com/UFC Unfiltered. And this is why I'm awful. Because I'm anal. So I eat the same thing over and over and over. Because if I figured out how to measure it, I'm just going to go 2 of this, 1 of this, 3 of that, done. This, it's all measured. It's a variety. They don't repeat the same meal. So you could hang out with your girlfriend, maybe your kids, maybe her kids from a prior marriage. That's not my business.
No.
And you can all cook together and have fun. Blueapron.com/UFC Unfiltered. Blue Apron, it is a better way to cook.
It's a great way to cook. Blue Apron. I just like to add a little something in.
You did.
I'm not sleeping well now
Why? You
because my
tired?
family's. You think I'd sleep better with my whole family away, but they're away. They're visiting my sister-in-law, and because she just had a baby, and so they're away for like 10 days during like the whole spring break thing. And I'm not sleeping good, Jimmy.
No.
I wake up and I'll go through my house. I'm like, let me go check on the kids. Oh, they're not here. You think I'd go back to sleep quicker? You think it'd be so quiet? Staring at the ceiling.
Well, you just, you're used to that life in the house.
Yeah.
You can't see your pretty
It's
daughters
weird.
or your wife. I understand. You're it's a little lonely. It's a lack of life force.
Weird. It's like I can't wait. I'm like, all right, hopefully this night will go quick and then I'll start my day.
Now you're seeing how awful a divorce would be. So this 10 days is going to give you the opportunity to go, wow, I really enjoy being married. I enjoy being a dad. It's a good opportunity to be grateful,
Come again?
right?
Yeah. But
Good opportunity.
listen, I just spend more time at my schools and
Yeah, look
I
at
stay
your
busy.
iPad.
look at my iPad. All right.
Yeah, now you can do it
Remind me
anywhere
to-
in the house.
Just remind me to Erase the history.
Delete the history. I
Erase that
understand.
history on that thing.
Anywhere you want to do it now. You don't have to lock yourself in the toilet. You can sit in the living room. Relax. Play some chess.
I got to know where I got to clean up.
What's on me? Or
Who else are we talking to today?
Demetrious Johnson.
What?
Mighty
The
Mouse.
champion?
The champion is calling in.
I'm going to talk video games with him. He likes video games.
Let's talk about that.
I heard he gets paid to play video games.
Is he on Twitch?
Ooh.
Probably, yeah.
I suck at video games. I should start a Twitch thing because I'm awful.
So
at
people will pay money just to watch you play. You
Yeah,
know
I
about
don't
that,
know.
Chris the producer?
Oh, sure, yeah.
That's what they do?
Hey, look,
Yeah.
it's no weirder than what I've paid people for. So that's
Hey,
certainly
Max
understandable.
Holloway, I don't think he gets paid to do it, but he has a Twitch channel, Max Holloway also.
A lot of fighters do.
Yo, you know those fruity drinks that I have that I bring in? Could somebody get me one from the other room?
Yeah, okay.
So
The orange one, if possible, because I don't want to have two sodas. What, Jimmy?
was Kelvin Gastelum was having problems with weight at one point,
Guy
right?
likes the party.
Yeah.
And then he does this. Is there and again, I like Kelvin, but is there a little self-destructive or not thinking part of him? Like, what do you you're about to fight Anderson Silva. I know that.
But when did he do that?
I don't know. But if you know they're testing you 12 hours before and after, what are you doing? He's not smoking it right before.
No.
So it had to be right after. And you blew the fight, dude.
Right.
How are you off this major fight against a legend? That's a giant fight for Kelvin Gastelum.
I know.
What the fuck you doing?
Yeah, it was around the March 11th fight with Vitor, so that's the in-competition.
So he was
window.
celebrating.
Probably, yeah.
Doesn't matter, man. You got to wait 12 fucking hours. Shit. You got to wait. I mean, it's crazy.
Let him
Maybe
know.
he did, but
Let him know, Jimmy.
and I say this as a guy who likes Kelvin Gastelum, and I think he's a great fighter, and I think this was a giant
Fuck
fight.
up. Oh,
Because
sorry.
now no one is talking about Kelvin Gastelum. You talk about, all right, who's Silva going to fight now? He said he would fight Uriah Hall. Of course he'd fight Uriah Hall, who we like. He said he would fight one of the Diaz, but he won't take Rockhold.
I saw Luke Rockhold when I was where was I just? I was in Buffalo.
You were in Buffalo.
And I saw Luke Rockhold. I asked him what's up, what's he doing. He said he got offered the fight. Thank you, Chris the producer. Just gave me a nice beverage. He told me that he got offered that fight. So I don't know what the fuck that means. You know, maybe I guess
Silva will probably take the fight against Rockhold. He's saying he doesn't want to fight him. He's probably just doing it to negotiate. But that really, if you're Anderson Silva, you're 41 years old.
It's a tough fight, man.
It's a very tough fight. But you also want another shot at the title, don't you? I mean, the idea that Silva, after breaking his leg like that in that fight, may get another title shot. That win against Brunson, he may get another title shot. Let's just say he fights Rockhold and wins. What's Rockhold number? Is he number 2 or 3?
Yeah, he's got to be.
Dude, I don't think he's winning that
No, he's
fight.
not number 3. He's
number 2.
Jacare is number 3. He might not win that fight, but I mean, if you're looking at it from a competitive point of view, Bisping is fighting GSP. Maybe Silva gets the fucking winner. That's a big fight. There you go. You finally got your super fight. Let's just say he beats Luke Rockhold, and then let's just say, for the sake of argument, GSP beats Michael Bisping. Just a hard fight. Yes, late, like Anderson, like Mike Tyson, Holyfield late. But you know what? We still may get GSP Silva. Not what it would have been 6 years ago.
It still doesn't matter.
Still a super fight.
Sometimes it'll still deliver. I remember
Because it's them.
I remember Chuck Liddell versus Vanderlei Silva, and that delivered majorly. And that was a fight they talked about for years. And even though they didn't fight in their prime, they fought, and it was a hell of a good fight. Hell of a good fight.
So you put a good co-main on that. That's where Silva's motivation to fight Luke Rockhold number 2 should be. Because who else are they going to put up against GSP if he wins?
I think he's being realistic.
Romero? You put Yoel Romero? You're going to put a Rockhold? Or you're going to put fucking Jacare? It's not going to be Anderson.
They gotta have that. They better do that fight sometime soon. When is that fight going down?
Am I out of my mind or wrong?
No, that's a great. I mean, that's a real interesting scenario you're putting forth there. Yeah, you're right.
We could possibly get that. That's a huge fucking payday at middleweight.
It's true.
Congratulations, by the way, to Uriah Faber.
Oh, I thought you were saying to me.
Not to you.
Okay, I was gonna say, oh, thank you.
2017 Hall of Fame inductee. And Uriah said it's, and he's well deserved. I mean, he really did. The big star of the WEC coming over and really kind of helping, his star kind of helped make WEC and all those lighter divisions fit right into UFC. Nice to be recognized, and it's nice for folks to take time to acknowledge what I've done in the sport. Because I honestly haven't had much time to do that myself. I went straight from retirement into business and mentoring and all the other projects I have. So it is a reminder to see I've done some cool things and people are appreciative. So it's nice. Uriah's a good guy. I wouldn't trust him around a girl I was dating because he's too handsome, and she'd have to try to fuck him. I don't even think he'd do anything wrong. Any girl that I've ever dated would probably try to fuck him.
I like him a lot, man.
Good guy.
It's so funny because he had such a beef with Dominic Cruz, and I get along with Dominic Cruz.
Oh, he's
really
great.
good.
Dominic's one of my favorite guys I've ever interviewed.
Yeah, he's a good guy to chill with, man. I hung out with him a little bit over the weekend. He's a good dude.
Very
So
knowledgeable
it's-
UFC guy too.
yeah,
Very,
man.
very smart.
And I like their team. I like the three of them. I like John Anik, Rogan, and Dominic together. think
I
they
do
do a good
too.
job.
By the way, it looks like
Talk to me.
Conor versus Floyd is going to happen following UFC 210. Dana said, I see this fight happening. Conor wants it. Floyd wants it. That was my impression of
Dana?
Bob Dole as Dana.
Oh.
I've said many times Conor has done a lot, blah, blah, blah. So whatever. It looks like it's going to happen. We don't know when. I am hoping... let's just get it out of the way because that fucking... If you're not going to fight in the UFC, fine. But just announce the fucking fight. This is, by the way, this is why boxing eats my ass.
Does it eat it?
Yeah, it eats it a lot. This is the problem with boxing. Go fuck yourself. Boxing.
I'm not a big fan
They
of them.
take forever. There's 30 shitty promoters involved, and it's got to be this promotion, and it's got to be that. And there's 75 fucking people in the ring, and it's a whole goddamn thing, and nothing ever gets done. Nothing gets done. GSP's coming back. What's happening? Boom. Bisping. Title fight. Boom. They give you
Pow.
the fights you want. But, you know, it's like, I want to see this fight. Let's make it happen. All right, here it is. Hey, TJ Dillashaw, talking shit to Cody. Cody, what's happening? They're fighting. Boom. July 8th. Pow. Done. And if they don't fight, what else we got? All right, Cormier Rumble. We wanted that. And again, barring injuries, we got it. We got two of them. Cormier Jones, we almost had a second one, but Jones had to tap out. Now, hopefully, this one.
I wonder.
There's not 80 promoters. It doesn't take 5 years, barring USADA and barring an injury. The fights get put together. That's it.
Yeah.
Boxing, this fucking nightmare after nightmare after nightmare. Suck
Yeah.
my UFC loving dick. Let's make this happen already. There's no way this is Dana holding it up, and it's not Conor holding it up. I know they want money, and I know, but Floyd thinks he's entitled to more money than anybody. I got news for you, bucko, to quote Richie Cunningham. Conor's a bigger draw in Australia, and he's a bigger draw in Europe than Floyd is. Floyd's boring. He's a great defensive fighter. Great. If you were Floyd and I'm sitting here,
Hi.
and I threw an apple at you, I'd miss because
No.
you're too fast.
Not this head.
Bing!
You'd hit this
Oh,
head.
hit the wall.
I could take a shot with an apple.
He's fucking boring. I'd pay more to watch Tyson fight now after being retired for 8 years
Yeah.
than Mayweather.
I'm not a...
Yeah.
I could care less about
Fuck
that
'em.
freaking fight. I just want to watch some...
I want to watch Conor fight
martial arts.
Jose Aldo or Max Holloway or fucking... I don't want to see another Diaz fight, but I'll take it. Or Eddie Alvarez.
I'll tell you what I've
Or
been-
move up. You know what? How about
Listen.
Wonder Boy, Tyron Woodley? Take your best shot.
So many good fights. So many good fights. Let's talk about what I've been watching lately.
All right, male porn. Let's talk about all male porn. Matt, go.
No. I've been typing in mature ginger for a change.
Jesus, talk about that's by the way, that's the world we live in.
What?
Where you can jerk off mature ginger who voted conservative. There's so many
Yeah.
cuckolds who are lefties.
Lately, I've been like, I've been typing in angry face.
Angry.
I'm like, what does that mean? Like, girl's angry.
Yes.
A lot of times it's like the point of view where they're whacking the guy in
Yes.
off, and you just see him like, and you're bad. I'm like, oh, bad.
Gingers who have lost a press-on nail in the anus of a partner. My God, it gets
But anyway,
specific.
listen, you know what I've been watching besides all that stuff?
What?
Is Hell's on Wheels. Wait, Hell on
Hell on,
Wheels?
not Hell's on Wheels.
Longo told me about it. You like Western stuff? No. Did I tell you about this already? Did I talk about this on here?
No, you haven't talked about it.
It's not bad. I think it was on AMC or something, but I'll talk to you, Christopher. So Jimmy's texting somebody.
No, I'm actually writing a note for myself.
What is it?
It was, make sure you pay this girl. Owe her some money.
It's basically about like it takes place right around like the end of what was it, the Civil War, where they just got done with slavery.
Yes.
You know, and now they're talking, they're building the railroad. And it's Indians attacking, and it's you ever hear about it?
No, this is the first time hearing.
Hell on Wheels. I watched it on Netflix.
That's nice language.
Enjoying it.
Harsh. Hell on Wheels.
So I want to say, you're gonna fucking foot stomp me. I
didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
What is that? My fight versus Chris Lytle? You stomping my feet?
Did he do that?
Oh, I saw my buddy Chris Lytle. I spent 30 minutes with him in the cage, beating the crap out of each other, and I had 2 fights with him.
You did?
Yeah, and we're 1-1, so we're good. Okay. But what a good guy, Chris Lytle, man. And oh, by the way, this just over the weekend, Patrick Cote lost to Thiago Alves.
Thiago Alves, what a fight that was. I thought that might have gotten fight of the night. That was amazing.
But I just want to say congratulations to my buddy Patrick on a great career, man. He's retired now.
Is he retired?
That guy was in the Ultimate Fighter house with me 11 years ago. And he's still in there. He's still fighting.
What a chin that guy has, too. I mean, he's a tough dude.
Great chin. Great dude, man. He's a new father, pretty much. I mean, he's got a young baby. And I knew that guy since we had such a I really bonded with those guys in the house. On our team, we had a tight team, And to this day, like when I see these guys, like Lytle was on my team Mojo, and Drago. I mean, who I was with my buddy Dean Thomas, Patrick Cote. We had a cool fucking team on that show, like guys that you'd want to hang out with. You know what I mean? So I'm happy for Patrick, even though he didn't win that fight. He went out like the warrior he is, laid his gloves in there, and it was good. Congrats to Patrick Cote on a great career.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, and he went out fighting a really tough guy, man.
Yeah,
Alves looked great.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
He looked great.
He's real tough.
I remember him in the jersey. He was, I think, one of the first cards I ever went to. I think on the John Jones beating Shogun card he was on, if I'm remembering correctly.
He's always been a beast.
Don't remember who he fought. But was he on that card, Jones Shogun?
I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. You got to hear that song. It's a good song. It's a fun song. Jimmy, now you're just being rude.
No, I'm looking at Chris. He's telling me.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I didn't mean to yell at you.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't on that one.
Then it was another jersey card.
Yeah. That's in Barbosa, maybe you're thinking? I don't know.
No, I'm thinking of him, but I was another jersey card. I've seen a couple of fights there. I've been to
what
Florida.
games do you think Demetrious is playing?
No
right
idea.
now?
Who else was on that card in Buffalo? We didn't really talk about that because we had
Call of
Rose
Duty.
in.
What's that?
I'm going to call Mighty Mouse now.
Who else was on that? Who's the Russian guy? In the very beginning, he fought very, very well.
I was backstage with Chris, and I didn't get to see a lot of. And we had to go over at a later time. We went over to the stadium to the arena around like 9:15. So I missed a bunch, man. Like I saw like the main card. That's it. And I was backstage, so. But I'll tell you that the girl fight was great. That was a good fight.
Is it
Cynthia?
Well, sorry, buddy. Magomed Bibolatov?
Yeah, Bibolatov.
Bibolatov, yeah, against Janelle Lauza. Yeah, that was a really good fight, but that guy is awesome. And Caitlin Chukagian did beat Irina Aldana in a split decision.
That was a very tough fight for both of them. They've been neither one of them backed down.
What are we talking about? Which
the fight? Desmond Green. I think that was his UFC debut. Am I correct? Against Southpaw, against Josh Emmett. Am I incorrect?
I don't remember. I know that he maybe was out for a little bit and came back, Desmond Green. But
Dominic Cruz was talking a lot about Josh Green, those alpha guys, how they run forward and throw that punch. I never noticed that they do that, but you can see a little bit of Dillashaw in Josh Elliott when you're watching.
Yeah.
A couple of steps forward and then throwing that punch. That's got to be a difficult thing to combat. I did not see the one fight because I watched them all on when I was done because I was working that night. I did not see Gregor Gillespie against Andrew Holbrook.
Oh, he did really. That's a Long Island kid.
I know. I'm annoyed that I missed that.
He did good. He won in the first round, really quick.
He
laid him out. Yeah, it's good, man. I'm a Strong Island guy.
Are we still trying to call him here?
Yeah. Hell on Wheels. If you like westerns, give that a shot.
I'm not a big westerns guy. By the way, Charles Oliveira, Will Brooks, how amazing!
Oh wow!
Was that? Hey, sorry, Demetrious, what's up, pal?
Hey, champ, what games
How
you
you
playing?
doing? Welcome aboard.
Xbox or PlayStation? Okay.
That Will Brooks choking Oliveira was spectacular.
No, you fucked that up.
Charles
you totally
Oliveira
fucked that up.
choking on Will Brooks'
Dare
back.
you.
was
That was
amazing.
beautiful. That was a thing of beauty.
Amazing.
Man, I love that. Even though the
I
fact
knew you
that he
would.
got him down with an inside leg trip real early, boom. A good jiu-jitsu guy, really, they take advantages of the smallest little openings, man. Like I'm like, yo, he's gonna get his back, and I seen a man, and he's got those arms that are just made to strangle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once I saw it, I'm like, it's on his jaw, but it's gonna be going to his neck.
It didn't look like
It
he
was-
had it at first. Yeah.
It's like Damian Maya style, where it starts a little bit on the jaw, but they put the pressure on where
So
it's just,
much.
You have to relieve the pressure. The guys will put it on their own neck because they don't want their jaws to break.
Is that what it is? Your jaw's gonna
Oh,
break?
it feels like it's gonna get split in two. Guys sometimes tap before it's even on their karate.
Because of the way it's pushing the
Yeah,
jaw
man,
in. And you can't
yeah.
break the jaw like that?
Shit. Yes. Wow. Oh, what?
Yeah. That's a hard way to get your jaw broken.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No. Have you ever had a broken jaw?
Yes,
Yes, sir, you did, right?
Yeah, you hear that shit? But I got that from the Tough Man contest. I got fucked up at the Tough Man contest.
You couldn't eat for how long? 6 weeks?
It didn't get broken, but it was out of
Dislocated?
whack. When I would go to put my teeth down, they were like crooked. They were like not in line.
When your jaw's broken, they always have to wire your mouth shut, or there are ways for them not to do it?
I think they usually do, but I heard sometimes they don't. But then again, what the fuck do I know?
Cavillo looked incredible against Pearl Gonzalez.
Wow. And I'll tell you, Pearl Gonzalez didn't look bad either.
No, she didn't at all.
You know,
But
she even went for a nice arm lock at one point. But the other one's a scrappy.
She's
chick,
so good on the
man.
floor.
Yeah, she's tough. She's tough. And she was saying that she had some like crazy amount of fights in 1 year. I forgot how many fights she had.
Was it 5? Am I correct?
I don't
I remember
know.
them saying 5.
Yeah, I think she wants to go for her 6th, she said, before the
Pretty
year's
busy, man.
like within a year.
12-month period. Yeah.
Tough girl, man. That was a fun fight, though, man. Huh?
Yeah.
And that other girl will be back too. You know, she's tough.
Gonzalez?
Pearl,
Yes,
yeah,
she
she's
is.
tough.
I thought it was a good card overall.
Karate hottie. It's fun to say. It's just fun to say. It's fun to say it.
Well, that will happen. That's happening this Saturday.
I know. Karate hottie. I mean, that and versus Thug Rose.
You don't want to say her name, huh?
What?
Nama Yunus.
Ooh, I'm not gonna work here anymore anyway. Sorry.
Nama Yunus.
What is it?
She was so much fun to have in.
You are so smitten with her.
I'm not smitten with
You
her. I
are.
just like
You
her as a,
stop blushing. She's not even here.
I like her as a person.
Right. It's
I'm not
okay.
dealing with that maniac fucking
No, Pat
heavyweight. I'm
Barry.
a big
no,
Pat Barry fan.
He knows that you're just a fan that's smitten with his fiance.
Exactly. But I'm a threat. Look at me. I'm a
You're
physical
just hoping
specimen.
I know you're just hoping something happens to him and
No,
then she'll
I'm
be
not.
mourning and
I wouldn't even trust it. Literally, if he unless he came out and said, not only do I not want to see her anymore, but someone else better date her. Under no other circumstances would I put myself in that. For what?
so you could just like you could love her from afar.
All he's gonna do is slap me. Do you understand how embarrassed if I'd be on a date with Rose and Pat showed up and just slapped me in front of my new girl? She'd leave with him. She'd go, I can't deal with this guy. He's the worst. No, I like Rose. I think
maybe,
she's sweet.
maybe it'd be like the Hulk, man. You'd just get fucking nuts if he smacked you.
No, I wouldn't. My pants would rip and I'd collapse to the floor like a girl, a beaten girl. She's ever since our first interview with her, where she was so open and so honest. That's my favorite part of Rose is that there's no bullshit in her. When you talk to her, she'll just you ask her and she
I
tells
like
you.
it. I like when she's getting ready for a fight. You're like, don't you hate? Don't you like? People look at me funny when I get shampoo for my. She's like, don't you use shampoo on your head? She's like, no. Let's put some soap on it.
Yeah.
She don't give a shit. She's looking for taking limbs. Jimmy.
No, I know she is.
Talking to her about shampoo. How dare
know.
You're lucky she didn't smack you.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Imagine you're like,
it would
don't you
hurt.
Don't you like that? But people, they look at you funny when you get shampoo and she smacks you.
Yeah, but I
it
do
says, I'm
have
getting
that.
ready for a fight.
Rose and I were bonding over our hair.
Or lack of.
Lack
It's good though.
thereof.
Hey, listen, who am I? I buzz this thing. I buzz this bad boy every day.
She also understands head shape. She was like saying that her head shape, and I was saying my head shape. And we both understood each other. We both speak the language of head shape and concern for it.
Head shape?
Yes, the head shape.
fuck
I
does
have a
that
little
mean?
dent in my head. And she was talking about the shape of her head. Maybe it was on my radio show with Sam Roberts she talked to it. But she was talking about the shape of her head being with her haircut. And she's like, I'm lucky it
Look
works.
at the size of my noggin.
You have a big head. It's a good head. I have to hit Matt with a fucking piano.
That's
to
why
knock
I
him
stay.
out.
That's why I stay big. Because when I lose weight, it looks like I got a big. My head doesn't match my body.
It'll be very hard
so
to
I
knock
keep my
me out.
head big.
Yeah.
I can take a bat to this thing.
Well, I wouldn't want to.
Fuck. Hey man, is this guy
Delightful
calling? Where
person.
is the champ?
I think he got a little bit behind on his media, so I'm just checking in on him.
You
But we'll
check
get
in
him in a
on
few
him
minutes.
because
we are.
hey, listen, we got stuff to talk about. Just take a pee break.
Let's take a pee break.
Okay.
This is UFC Unfiltered with Jim Norton and Matt Serra.
All right, we're back. We're going to get in touch with Demetrious Johnson, who's in his hotel room.
Yes.
Chris is calling him right now.
Yes.
And then we are going to see how he is feeling about this fight coming up against Wilson Reese.
It's very exciting. It's very
Fox
exciting.
this Saturday.
And I shall be there again. I am good thing my family's away for a little bit because I've been traveling, man.
Yeah.
I've been traveling, man.
Yes, you have.
Jimmy,
What's up, buddy?
I've been traveling.
I know you have.
Yes. Do I get another invite to your show even though I couldn't do it the other day? I wanted to say goodbye to my
Yeah,
kids.
we'd love you to come on with myself and Sam. You're always welcome to come on.
And then I'm going to stalk your friend. I mean,
Come on the Chip Chipperson
Bobby
podcast.
always asks me,
Chip podcast to be fun.
what do I do?
You just hang out.
Where? Where do you do that?
We do it in the city in Bobby's studio.
Do you? Well, maybe I'll do Bobby's show.
You could do that. You know, more fun on Chips.
You know what's good about me? I like to have fun.
Me too.
I like to have a good time.
Matt's a fun guy. All right, cool. We have him on the phone. Demetrious Johnson. Hello, sir.
You're late. You're 15 minutes late.
No, we were on time. They said that you were running behind.
What? No.
That was what they told us. We tried you before.
Yeah, we're gonna start this interview with you reprimanding us. How you feeling? How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling good. I feel good, man. Just you know, it is fight week. You know, just getting the weight off and staying sharp and just doing the best I can.
Now, I know you're such a gamer. Do you bring your game console with you, Xbox and whatnot? Do you bring that with you when you're fight week?
Yeah, I have my PC right here. I was playing a little bit something this morning.
Did you mess around with that new Nintendo Switch or no? You ever play with that?
I got that here too.
How is that thing? Is that fun?
I like it, man. I mean, they only have a couple games out for it, so other than that, it's pretty unique thing. You know, you could play high quality games on the handheld and on the plane. So I like that. That's one thing I like about it.
Wait, which one is the Switch? Because I played one of those. I played Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda: The Breath of the Wild is the one that's on the Switch.
Oh, that is on the Switch. Yeah,
thought you were
we
fucking
played that on the radio show, and I stunk at it. I have zero. I couldn't do anything. I was just running around that dumb castle, jumping up and down, and I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't find the steps. Monsters were chasing me. I was not good.
It's all good, man. It's all good. It's a talent.
And you're very talented. From what I hear, you're very talented at video games. Let me ask you your preference with the consoles out of consoles.
Console.
That's what I said.
Some
No?
counsels.
Give me some counsel on the consoles.
Yeah, it's attorneys.
It's just my
right. I mean, they're all good depending on what you want to play. You know, the Nintendo is more for family based, and you have the Xbox and PS4. They almost do identically the same. Or you go to the PC route where you can just have a PC and play PC games.
Now, my friend of mine used to love those. Isn't it harder to operate when you're hitting the keys on a PC?
No. You can actually plug in an Xbox One or a PS4 controller to the PC via USB now. So there's some games you want to play, keyboard and mouse, and there's some games you want to play controller.
Now, you're a much younger guy than me. Do you remember, would you go to the arcades when you were a kid, or when you were younger, was it already having games that you played at home?
No. I went to the arcade to play a lot of games that you couldn't play at home.
What did you play? I remember being in the arcade. For me, it was Asteroids. Do you remember Asteroids in the arcade?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they actually had those in arcades, believe it or not.
I know. I was in when I was 10 years old or 13. I was in the newspaper. I played for 10 hours on one quarter.
Are you joking?
1981, the year that the
joking?
San Francisco 49ers played the Bengals in the Super Bowl. I played for 10 hours on a corner. I got my local paper.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I was wearing a hat. I looked like Adrian from Rocky. I had glasses. It was really creepy.
That's pretty impressive. 10 hours on one quarter, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was it's one of the highlights of my life. It was my first piece of press. What was your arcade game when you'd go?
Oh, man, there were so many of it. There was Primal Rage, Killer Instinct, Turtles in Time. I mean, I would go all the time. Extra for Street Fighter, Guilty Gear. I played a lot of games at the arcade when I was out.
Were you competitive with it? Because there's a great thing, a movie called a documentary called The King of Kong, where these video gamers, man, these guys are taking it is like a world championship. They don't fuck around. Did you were you like that, or did you see these documentaries?
Oh yeah, I've seen these documentaries for it. I was a little bit like that, not like to those guys' things. I played it for the more of the enjoyment and a pastime while I'm always at the mall shopping. But yeah, I've entered just some arcade tournaments and never won any of them, but it's always fun to try.
Now you're coming off a unanimous decision win over Tim Elliott. Was he a little tougher than you expected in that first round?
No, not at all. I know Timmy was a tough, and he has a lot of heart. I mean, I've seen him fight a lot of guys in the UFC, from Dotson to Joseph, and I think all those guys had the same trouble. And no, he's a tough guy. He's big for the weight classes, big for weight class too.
Okay. And what do you feel about your fight with Wilson Hayes this Saturday?
I feel it's gonna be a great fight. Wilson, he's a tough guy. He comes from a great camp, great jiu-jitsu background, great wrestler, and looking to get in there and mix it up.
Now, what do you think about fight? Let's just say, I know you never want to look beyond the fight you're fighting, especially when it's in 4 days. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you do win the fight. What do you see as a next step? It's almost hard to fight. You're cleaning out the division. Like there's not many people left to fight you. Are you going to have to start either having people come down or you go up to fight outside the division?
I don't know yet. We got a big task ahead this Saturday, and we'll see. I'll sit down with my coaches to see what happens next. Obviously, I'm going to stay down at 125, and we'll see what the UFC is. There's a lot of new top prospects coming up, and my job is to be ready to fight them and beat them. Now,
Cody Garbrandt has suggested that he would move down to flyweight to fight you. If in fact you are going for your 11th straight defense, if again this one works out as you plan it to work out. What do you think of him as a potential opponent from what you've seen? I mean, he's a very, very good fighter.
Very good fighter, man. He just won the belt at 135. He got a tough task ahead of him. Gets Tia Dillashaw, which that's no joke at all.
Sure.
And he's a great fighter. It's going to all come down to I'm sure he can make the weight, but can he perform at the weight? An extra 10 pounds. Extra 10 pounds is a lot of weight. And you don't get the IV band. You don't get the IV hydrate. So if he was to make the weight, then I guess we will be getting him up, and we'll see what happens if we ever step in the octagon together.
Now, if you do win this fight, you're going to tie Anderson's consecutive title defense record at 10. What is it like? When you're fighting for the belt, when you're going for the belt, there's this drive to get to it. I'm sure that there's this incredible goal. Now you've reached the goal, and you're in your 9th, your 10th defense. How do you motivate yourself to continue with the same hunger? I mean, and I know you're the champion, you want to keep the belt, but how do you motivate yourself to fight the way you've been fighting?
Well, this is how I get paid. This is what I've always, when it's my job, I do my job at the best of my ability and stay focused on the task at hand. So for me, I got great coaches behind me, Matt Hingham and Brad Kirchen. They're always changing it up for me, making it fun, making me always learn, and I'm able to ask questions. And so when I go out there and execute my game plan, it's just nice to see that the stuff we've been working on in the gym is always working.
Well, because I think it was Dominic Cruz said something to that effect after he lost to Cody Garbrandt about now I get to refocus or have a goal. I forget what it was, but he was alluding to the fact now there's something else to fight for, to achieve. And I was just wondering if that became more difficult. Or do you start looking ahead? Like, you must be aware of the fact that you're going to tie Anderson's record if you win this. So does that become something that motivates you? Like, okay, there's the mountain I'm going to go for. I'm going to try to get to that. Do you constantly need some kind of a mountain in front of you that you have to climb?
No, I've always been a self-motivator, whether there's a mountain in front of me or not. I'll find something to, I got a family, and that's a huge motivation for myself. I'm 30 years old. I'm going to have a successful career. You hear all these guys who fight in UFC and have careers, and when they're done with it, they have nothing to look back on. They end up being broke. So for me, my motivation is to make sure when I'm done, I have a successful UFC career. I got, money in the bank. I got to worry about anything, and I can start doing other things that I'm passionate about.
My mother was very good with money, and she always taught me not to screw around. So I was pretty smart when I started making money. So have you learned from the mistakes of other fighters or other performers that they just blow it, and then when they're 35, they have nothing?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Basketball players, football players, musicians, actors. I think there's somebody in every outlet that's done that, and I think it's good to read about them and educate yourself, how they went broke, and they weren't managing their money, they had somebody else managing their money, and it's always good to read about those.
Well, I have an accountant. He does my taxes. But I have power of attorney. I don't get power of attorney to anybody. I got to sign all checks, and that's where these guys get in trouble. Is they let someone else sign their checks, and these guys make shitty investments, and they have control of their money, and then they go and ask for some money, and they're like, well, no, you have $200 in the bank. So I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, it happens. It happens, man.
So what do you look at beyond fighting? Like, there's got to be other things you enjoy. Of course, your focus is fighting now. You're arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I think you're underrated. I think just because you beat somebody, you're like an institution. You're like U.S. Steel. You're just the guy who wins. You're the champ. People take for granted that you're the champ. What do you look at beyond fighting that interests you, besides games or a way you could do something after fighting?
Obviously it's going to be more in the gaming world, but if let's say the games help work out, I believe I can go into like health and nutrition, even though I have a nutritional background or college degree. But just helping people realize that you can be fit while enjoy eating. Looking at the easier way to do it. I have a huge passion for that, where you can, the type of things you put in your body and the way it makes your body change and how you feel. It's something I've always enjoyed doing as well.
And it's amazing how many guys too have gotten in trouble recently, whether it was with little USADA pops and this stuff, and how do you avoid any of that happening from accidentally taking something like, or other guys say that they take something that they didn't know was tainted? How paranoid do you get about that, or about accidentally testing positive or something?
There's always, as an athlete, you're always going to feel, when you get the drug test, you're always going to be sweating bullets, just because you just never know, man. I mean, you can pop for eating, meat from other countries. Not that I have, but, a guy popped and he had some of the meat in China. So, I mean, with that fact, I try to eliminate everything. I eliminate all, like, the protein. I don't take any whey protein or anything like that. And that kind of helps me eliminate all that stuff, or me potentially popping. I don't take dick pills. I'm a married man. I have 2 children. My penis works just fine. I'm 30 years old. So other than that, man, I mean, these guys are asking for it. When you're putting those type of substance in your body, you're asking for it.
Even if your dick works, brother, I'll say this to all the guys out there. Mine works okay, but sometimes you just want a little extra oomph.
You want to supersize it.
Sometimes I just want a reminder she didn't make a mistake by showing up.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with it. Now, how about Brad Pickett retired after a great career? He's one of your only 2 losses, him and Dominic Cruz. And what were your thoughts on him overall as a fighter and as a guy in the sport? He's pretty well liked.
Yeah, Brad Pickett's awesome, man. He was, like you said, my first loss. Learn a lot from him, learn a lot from watching his career, and it's just crazy. Here's another guy who's had a successful career, and I hope he was smart with his money. I hope he bought a house, invested it, and all that stuff. That way, in 5 or 6 years, I don't want him saying, "Oh, I didn't make that much money in UFC," blah blah blah, which I doubt. That's not his character, but great athlete, and I loved his career.
Do you enjoy the act? I'm asking this because Rumble just shocked everybody when he said that was his last fight, and he just didn't like getting punched in the face anymore, and he couldn't do it. And do you enjoy the act of preparing for a fight, sparring, getting ready? Because for him, it seemed to be a torture. He just did not enjoy it.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I truly do enjoy it, but I also take time away from the sport. I'm not very media intensive, only when it's coming up to my fight. But when I'm out of my fight week and not getting ready for fights, I enjoy my family. I enjoy video game. I enjoy, venturing down other avenues in my life. So when it comes time and I am fighting, I get 110% focus. And when I have guys in the gym that are amateur guys who are getting ready for the fights, I try to be there as much as I can when I'm throughout my traveling. But I have other things going on in my life, so it gives me that kind of mental break from fighting.
Did you grow up in a big or a small family? Like, do you have brothers and sisters?
I had a brother and a sister, so I would say it was decent size, I guess.
Now, are either of them fighters, or was there any other fighters in your family? I'm wondering what took you in a direction very different from them, if it is in fact different from them.
It is different from them, My sister went to college. My brother, he dropped out of high school. Then my older brother, he is a correctional officer. For me, I've done a lot of sports when I was in high school and middle school. And even elementary, I was running track the whole entire time instead of chasing tail in the recess. But, I just enjoyed, competing. And I was working in a warehouse, and I just kept on doing amateur fights because it reminded me of wrestling when I was in high school. So with that being said, it worked out good for me, and I got hooked up with ANC pancreation, and I started taking normal classes there like any student there, and I just fell in love with the sport of learning about martial arts, not, UFC or
Sure.
WEC. I didn't even know. I knew about UFC, but the smallest weight class was 155, 170. I didn't weigh nowhere close to that. So it was definitely different. No fighters in my family. I'm a fight.
So when you talk about wrestling in high school, you mean high school wrestling, not WWE or WWF at that time?
Yeah, high school wrestling. Yeah, not the collegiate style, not WWE.
I'd be surprised how many fighters do enjoy WWE. I mean, it's still really popular, even though the fact that there's a predetermined outcome, it doesn't seem to have hurt it at all. It seems like it's as big as it ever was, which I don't quite get.
Yeah, so some people use it as the men's soap opera. That's what a lot of women call it.
Exactly.
The men do too.
It is, right? It's like a soap opera.
right.
It's well acted, and I think that's why the people. That's why they're all so good on the mic. Those guys, because they have to create controversy. Like you guys have real controversy. Like you and Wilson are going to punch each other in the face for real. Yeah. There's no controversy that needs to be created there. But if one of you came in a fucking Superman hat or whatever, like all right, we got to create something around him.
Did you say a Superman hat?
I couldn't think of a superhero costume, so I said Superman hat.
I don't think Superman wears a hat.
He doesn't.
The one time I tried.
Shame on you.
I'm sorry, but if he
dare
did,
you?
That'd be controversial. Yeah.
Should have said a Superman's cape or something. I'm
that's
sorry,
stupid.
Jimmy.
Superman hat. You're right.
All right.
I just thought of
I
it.
only get insulted when you bring up superheroes and you get it wrong.
I get it wrong all the time. Are you a superhero guy?
I am.
Which one do you like? Who do you like the most?
I like Batman the most. Black Panther, he's also cool. I mean, there's so many of them. Iron Man's legit. Spider-Man, Venom, they're all legit.
Why Batman? I'm interested.
Oh, Batman, because he wasn't a guy, it was Bruce Wayne. Nobody knew who he was, and he was very well-mannered. And then when it was time for him to put on the bat cape, he would go put it on, and nobody knew who he was. And he kept a very low profile.
How do you like the movies? The movies that are out with the superhero movies?
They're awesome. I mean, I think the last Wolverine movie was awesome. It was rated R. Deadpool was rated R. Yeah. And I think I read somewhere that they're going to start going in that direction for rated R movies for superheroes because, you can't really capture the essence of a character unless you can give it 100%. Like a guy who, for me, growing up, watching the comic books of Spider-Man or reading them, when they finally had Spider-Man 3 and they had Venom on there, that was not Venom one bit, You can say, we are Venom, and all that stuff. So it was very hard for me. But now they're going in the direction of rated R movies, which should be fun.
Wolverine I thought was great. I'm not even Logan. I'm not even a gigantic comic book movie guy, but I thought Logan was incredible. It's just rated R movies don't make what PG-13 movies make. That's why they did it. But now that Deadpool, I think, broke that and Logan made a lot, now they'll start doing it, which is really great.
Agreed.
But I thought The Dark Knight was a great film.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, with Heath Ledger's the Joker, he made him a sociopath.
So good, so good. Dark Knight? You a Dark Knight fan, or you a Batman fan?
Yeah. Dark Knight was a good one. It was really dark. It really captured the essence of the Joker by how I was like, I'm gonna blow this hospital up, I'm gonna do this and that, and he would actually do it. And that was PG-13. That wasn't rated R. So, I mean, you can get away with it with, PG-13 movies, but, it's like, okay, we're going to make the new Predator that's coming out. They're rebooting Predator. It's going to be G-rated. Are you fucking kidding me? It's not going to work out. But this new Predator is going to be rated R. Alien Covenant, which is the next franchise to be put on with it's basically the Alien sequel. It's rated R. So they're keeping it in that horror gore film where the reason why they do all these superhero movies in PG-13 is because they don't want to miss out on the market for the kids.
Yeah, and they watch movies over and over again. That's where they can make a lot of their money from is repeat business because they'll go watch a movie twice. Now, I'm a 3D guy. Logan, I was very annoyed I could not see in 3D. Matt knows that. I'm a big 3-dimension guy, a big Sony IMAX guy. Do you not give a shit or do you prefer it?
I prefer IMAX, but I don't really care for 3D.
Now, a lot of people don't like 3D. I don't know why. Does it make you nauseous or you just don't like it?
I just don't like it. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I don't really care about seeing bullets being shot towards me. Something about 3D. I mean, unless it's like, Avatar was cool in 3D. Yep. I mean, there's some movies that are like, if a movie's built for just 3D, then it'll be cool. But if a movie has to be, they made the movie in like no 3D, then they're like, okay, we're going to add 3D effects to certain parts of the movie. And you got with them glasses, then I'm not a fan of it.
Well, they tried it with Titanic. They did exactly what you just said. They added a couple things to Titanic to make it 3D, and there was a girl I was trying to fuck, so I went with her. And A, I hated it, and B, we didn't have sex, so it was a fucking total bust of an evening.
There you go.
All right, well, good luck, buddy. Always a fun time chatting with you. Of course, the main event here this Saturday from Kansas City. Demetrious is fighting Wilson Hayes. The number 3 ranked flyweight in the world. And it's a great card overall, too. It is on Fox, 8 o'clock this week. So UFC Fight Night. Good luck.
Good luck, champ.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, talk to you again.
Take care, man.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
He doesn't like when you get naughty.
I don't care.
Because he goes, no, I like, because you say something, then he'll be like, yep, there you go.
Yeah,
he's a proper guy.
He's a married guy with kids, a very polite dude.
I am, and look at me, I'm a fuckwad.
But you're not, yeah, he's a politer guy. He's a more conservative guy with that stuff.
He's a little conservative, that's the word.
Yeah.
You say, I knew, the second you were saying, the girl I was trying to fuck her, and
I knew.
The second, I'm like, I know what he's going to say. And the second you were done, he goes, up, there you go. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I love
just like when we tried to talk about the cock pill. Listen, it's not, I feel like
I was actually just talking in general about getting popped.
And
he said his penis works fine.
I feel like telling him, champ, it's not you, it's us. We're the ones who have met.
I don't think
it's really not him, it's us.
He knows that.
We got some fucking problems, me and you.
Yep.
You have an extra cock pill on you?
No, I don't carry them.
I don't need. I'm gonna surprise my wife when she comes home.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna chop them up and snort them. Sorry, I took it too far. I don't know what I'm doing, but you know what I am doing.
What?
I'm just having a good time. But listen, we're gonna get out of here right now. And if you haven't seen it yet, Jimmy, tonight when you had nothing to do, when you're done with your porn and you're cleaning yourself up, put in Dana White Looking for a Fight and check out the Sturgis
Absolutely.
episode.
This one Matt was talking about for a while.
The Sturgis episode.
So support that.
So much fun. And I like these people that are giving us compliments, and we're going to be reading more of those. You guys don't always have to mention Chris, the producer. I'm only kidding.
You can.
Mention Chris, and then you'll definitely make it on air.
That's true.
Right? So far, everyone he's read is like, oh, and this one I just happened to this one happened to mention me.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Chris...
Chris, it's all good, man.
People know what they're doing. It's smart.
Yeah.
They do that just
they
to get
know
to
how to
us.
get on
Of course.
Bad.
All right. Listen, guys.
What's up, Jim?
Check out the Chip podcast, Chipperson podcast, and hope you like it. It's idiocy, and it's not me. It's a different person.
Can I get on there?
You may.
And when I get on there, you're going to be in character the whole time. It's going to be weird.
It's a no character break. There'll be no
Am I going to go, all right, Jimmy, and you're going to go, I'm not Jimmy, I'm Chip. I don't know how to do Chip. I don't know how to do Chip.
Yes, you do.
Oh, that face of yours. Are you going to have that on the whole time when I talk to you?
Yeah, will you?
Why are you looking so pissed
Piece of
off?
garbage.
No.
That's Chip.
We're going to have fun.
Unpleasant.
Me and Chip are going to have fun.
If Matt Sarah chokes out Chip.
I don't know if Chip's going to... I don't think Chip's going to like me. It's like the alter ego of you.
Chip will like you.
All right.
But you're right. There's no character break.
Oh, man. So, Jimmy, I'm going away again this weekend.
I'm going to miss you. When do you leave?
What's nice about doing this on these
Buffalo,
days...
Kansas City. You're living the life. I'm stuck here in New York, the greatest city in the world.
I'm going to be... hopefully I don't lose my luggage again. But, Aljo Sterling...
That's right. Good luck,
fighting,
Aljo.
And he's going to be on Fight Pass, so watch Aljo and,
Augusto Mendez.
Yes. And a very tough guy he's fighting. But, Aljo's a very tough guy. And
he lost a decision last time,
We're
right?
yet to see the best of Aljo Sterling, the Funk Master.
Okay.
And I have a feeling, just a feeling, it's going to get mighty funky this weekend. On that note.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Jimmy.
Goodbye, buddy.